The man, the myth, the legend made it. Andre Berto.
Finally made it.
Dude, I was explaining to people before you came on how bad I wanted you on the show for a number of reasons. Obviously, you're a ridiculous boxer, but your background is amazing to me because people don't realize your father fought in the UFC 10, right?
Yeah.
And then you have family who also fight in mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
so out of anyone to comment on this Mayweather-Conor fiasco, like, I feel like you're the most qualified guy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Your boxing background, obviously, world champion, Golden Gloves champion, 2-time, World Games bronze medalist.
Yeah.
Like, you have all these accolades. You also fought Floyd Mayweather.
For sure.
So I'm surprised they're not using you more on TV and, like, you know what I'm saying, as being a company.
I mean, they're
something
starting
like
to have a lot of people reach out because they're really starting, to really find out what's going on. Yeah, I mean, they understand. It's on the, they really understand our relationship with me and Floyd and the fact that I've known Conor for, like I say, 5 or 6 years. They're starting to reach out and they're really just trying to get insight on everything and just really try to find out what I think about it.
You're flying under the radar because I was thinking about it, and then we had a mutual friend, Robert Torres, who was my masseuse when I was fighting. He still helps me now. I think he helps you, right?
Yeah, that's my guy.
He connected us, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I'm doing research. I'm like, "What? Why isn't the homeboy everywhere? 'Cause you're the most qualified guy to talk about. Because obviously, Paulie's kind of the face of boxing and MMA right now
with this shit.
And we just had him on, and I just with your background, man, because you have to have some sort of respect for mixed martial arts.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I respect it so much. Like I said, I grew up with it. Just like growing up in my household. My dad was in and out. He was always in Japan. I mean, he was around a lot of like the pioneers, of the mixed martial arts. Like Ken Shamrock. I used to call him Uncle Ken.
Really?
Ken Shamrock, Maurice Smith, Sakuraba. I grew up knowing these guys, middle school and elementary school. So, it's definitely been, like a big fixture just in our household. My brothers and sisters, they were heavy into the mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu champions. My brothers in the, state and national wrestling champion. My other brother Edson, he fought, a few of the MMA fights as well. My dad has a big, MMA school back home in Florida.
Oh, he still has it?
Yeah, he still has it. So I've always been in the mix of it all the time, Like we sat... Like, we're at home, we're watching too much TV. My dad will walk in. Hell, you kids doing? Move the couches around. Let's roll around. You know what I'm saying? So we're in there rolling around. We're grappling and shit. I'm like, man.
Grappling and shit.
I ain't got time for this shit, man.
What made you decide to kind of take the boxing route instead of mixed martial arts?
The crazy thing about it was, I was a little chubby growing up. You know what I mean?
Really?
I was tough, but I
would think that.
I was real, short, solid, and chubby, and my brothers and sisters were slim, and they come home with their gis on, they're doing splits, they're throwing kicks, and I just wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I got me a little belly. You know what I'm saying?
Got me a little belly.
But I like to scrap though. So while my dad was training for a lot of his fights, of course, you got to train in a lot of different disciplines. And he just took me to the boxing gym with him. And that's where I fell in love. You know what I mean? I felt that
you felt right away boxing was your
that
passion.
was just my area. And I was just a fighter, man. I used to fight on the street, fight at home, just growing up, and just fight at school. I was a little badass.
And then did you know you had a kind of a talent or knack for it?
I always thought that we were a little different from a lot of other kids around because we grew up differently.
How so?
We grew up differently. Yeah, because of my dad, and of course, just the culture that we're from. We come from the Haitian culture, and everything was a lot harder, for us. We got in trouble. It was 500 push-ups, 500 squats before we went to school in the morning. And that was in elementary school. You know what I'm saying?
Shit would be difficult now.
Yeah, shit was crazy. It's like, all my friends playing video games, running around like we were in the backyard, doing push-ups and lifting weights and doing this, doing that. And I just seen the difference, like even when I went to school, I used to do certain events. I was just so much more advanced, physically than all the other kids. We had like little field days and, we had to run sprints and do pull-ups. These kids barely do 2 pull-ups. I'm knocking out 20. Like,
Jack.
Yeah, like,
thanks, Dad.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? So I knew that it was different. But the whole boxing aspect, man, like I said, physically, I felt I was advanced, and just mentally, just coming from that type of household of just hard working, and my dad continued to put that in our head that just anything that we wanted, and we had to work twice as hard for it, because we're not, we're Haitian immigrants
Haitian
here,
descent,
and if you want to make it, you have to dive all the way in. You got to show people that you
fight
belong.
for it.
Always. Always.
And then, so obviously 2-time Golden Glove champ.
Yeah.
And then this bothers me about your story is when you get to the Olympics, there's so much hope for the Olympics, and there's this weird kind of, you get disqualified.
Yeah. It was.
Have
crazy,
you heard this story,
man.
Chin? It's so frustrating.
It was crazy.
It's so frustrating. Like, it's frustrating for me.
Yeah, she was crazy. It was of course, I come from a small town back home. We made it out. Won the state championships, ended up going to nationals, and just being at the time like one of the only, kids from Florida that everybody knew. The team wasn't as good. Wasn't as good, but they knew who Berto was.
Yeah.
Because I came in with a whole different mentality, and like I said, me and this one kid, we were rivals 5-6 years in national tournaments. Either he'll win the national tournament, or I'll end up winning it, or me and him fight against each other. And like I said, he beat me, I believe, 3 times in a row in all these tournaments. It was so frustrating. And just actually getting ready for the Olympic trials, I went to Winky Wright. He actually had me in his training camp. He was getting ready to fight Shane Mosley.
Damn.
So he used me as his number one sparring partner at the time.
How old are you at this time?
17, 18.
Gotcha.
17, 18. So it was great because Winky Wright was one of the best southpaws at the time, and the guy I was fighting was a southpaw, my rival. And I got in ridiculous shape. Went to Olympic trials. They drew the bracket, and me and him drew each other the first day.
Damn.
The first day. So everybody just, they're waiting on that one. And went into the fight, of course, nervous, but was ready, and I was in there beating his ass, man. First time out of 3 fights, I was up by 5 or 6 points. Going into the last round, and I caught him with a right hand, buckled him. He grabbed me, and I was like, no, not this time. I got to finish you.
Yeah.
And I tried to shake him off me, and he fell to the canvas. And he put on a great act, man, acting like I broke his neck. I laid there. I heard his coach say, "Stay down."
Oh,
he
man.
rolled around, and he literally just laid there until the ambulance came in there and picked him up, and they disqualified me. And the crazy thing about that is they disqualified me. They took him to the hospital. He came back the next day at the weigh-ins, ready to fight again for next. And they were like, "Nah, you can't do that."
Think about your Olympic dreams crushed by homeboy.
Yeah, man, it was a bad situation, but
and then you go, and then you did that, and then you qualified for Hades, right?
Yeah, you
National
know what?
Team.
Because after I got disqualified, they went back, reviewed the tape, and they reinstated me back in the tournament. So me and him ended up being at the weigh-ins together. So that's where all of the confusion came, and then they pretty much disqualified him all the way out of the tournament. And I fought the next day again, and I won again, and I was going to fight in the finals of the Olympic trials. And the same kid came back with a shitload of attorneys. They stopped the whole tournament, and it just turned into a mess. So
That's a bummer, man.
Yeah, so they just pretty much got us out. And at the time, I got the phone call, right after the arbitration. And they were telling me that Haiti was taking the team this year, and they hear what's going on. It was big national news. And I said,
who wouldn't want to have you?
I was like, damn right, let's go.
Hell yeah.
So I ended up going for Haiti, and ended up being the only person to qualify on the Haitian team to go. So I ended up being a one-man team going to the Olympics.
That's kind of cool, man.
It was crazy.
That's really cool.
It was crazy, yeah.
And then you turned pro shortly after that.
Yeah.
And then it's off to the races.
Off to the races. Like I said, the pro promoters, man, they knew I had, that pro style. And they knew
some guys don't have that.
They don't have it.
You look at some amateurs, and even if they win a gold medal in the Olympics, for them to translate to be a professional, it doesn't. People think, oh, he's a gold medal, it's going to translate.
Nah,
it doesn't work like that. There's an amateur style and then there's a pro style, which translates
for sure. And they knew I had that professional side. That was definitely going to translate. I mean, I was knocking guys out in amateurs, and I was very aggressive. So,
which is unheard of.
Yeah,
amateurs a lot of point sparring stuff like that. A lot of point sparring. When you start getting knockouts, that's when people are like, damn.
Exactly. So they knew what time it was. So as soon as I left the Olympic Games, man, I was getting phone calls left and right from promoters, managers, so that wasn't, so that wasn't a problem at all. So we turned pro, and it was all great.
Off to the races. You got some great fights, man.
Yeah, man.
I feel like, because you and Floyd, which is what I want to get to, I feel like you and Floyd, you were supposed to fight way before you guys eventually fought, right?
That's what happened.
There was a earththque or in Haiti or something like that, right?
I was gonna fight. I was supposed to fight Shane Mosley.
That's right.
At the time, me and Shane was going to fight. That was going to be my big first step up fight. As young world champion. A week before the fight, they have the earthquake in Haiti, and I lost a lot of family members. And even before that, I used to take a lot of trips to Haiti. I might have a lot of orphanages there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I take care of a lot of kids
there.
Good
for you, man.
A lot of, schools that we've donated to and took care of. And, just hearing the news, man, a lot of those kids died. A lot of family members I had died.
That's tough.
So it was so it was really hard for me to be in training camp and just hear so much of that news, or just seeing my parents come to my house. And, they're in tears because every day they're finding out another member is, So it was tough for me.
Hard to stay focused.
Yeah, it was hard for me to stay focused, man. So, I decided to cancel, on my end. And after I made that announcement, I took off and went to Haiti like a day after.
Yeah.
So I went there. I just started going to work, man. I linked up with a few, like big organizations there on the ground.
Man.
And
doing as much as you can.
As much as I can, man. Pulling
That's
people out
tough.
of the rubble. It was, it was pretty intense.
So you lose the Shane Mosley fight. Obviously, he moves on. He has to continue his career.
For sure.
And then the Floyd Mayweather fight, it was a long time coming because everyone wanted to see that. Everyone wanted to see that.
Everybody wanted to see that, man. I went through my ups and downs with it. They wanted to see me and Floyd was supposed to go probably 5 years ago.
Because they wanted to see, right? And then you had the Victor
Ortiz situation. That's
which
the
was
one
fight of the year.
That's
but
the
you
one
lost, so Floyd was like, we're going to hold off.
Exactly. That's the one that kind of derailed it for me.
But then you knocked Ortiz out.
Yeah, I knocked Ortiz out.
Yeah, that was bad. I remember watching that. I think it was that on Fox?
Yeah.
That was your last fight, right? You hit him with that uppercut?
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Yeah, it was crazy,
so
man.
You revenged that fight. But so then you get the Floyd fight.
Uh-huh.
And I was actually, that's Floyd's last fight, right? 2 years ago.
Yeah, still Floyd's last fight 2 years ago.
2 years ago, you fight Floyd Mayweather. I was watching an interview, and you were talking about just what it's like being in there with Floyd.
Yeah.
That's why I think out of anyone, because you're the last man to fight him, you went all 12 rounds with him.
Yeah.
You can kind of let everyone know what it's like fighting and no one's been able to solve the problem with Floyd Mayweather.
For sure.
And I remember you saying how, like, when you're in there, he's cautious and he's aware of everything going on.
Very much aware on everything that's going on. A lot of guys you're in there fighting with, I believe that their main focus is always you and being very offensive, sometimes being, defensive, but always the initiative is always to try to attack.
Yeah, hurt him.
But with Floyd, it's a completely different awareness sense. Just me being in front of him, he was taking, observation of everything. The clock, how much time he has, where the referee is, his next step, and what area he's going to go in next. His awareness sense was just so much more on what was going on. He'll come and stall. He'll act like he's going to punch. He'll pull off. He'll take a walk. He'll look up at the clock, see how much time he has. He'll hit you with a jab. He'll move this way. He's very precise on what he wants to do. Even if it's one or two punches that round, he'll make sure those one or two punches land. Make sure you don't hit him and get out of that round. It's one round at a time.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one round at a time, and for us, aggressive fighters, I mean, it's kind of tough for us to deal with sometimes because we just want to go. We just want to go. We want to get physical. We want to, we want to bang it out. But he forces the pace to slow down.
Did you not expect that preparing for him in training camp?
No, preparing for him. Now I've been watching him for so long, and I kind of knew his punch patterns already. And I've seen fights before. I said, okay, it has to be something to this. Canelo is a very, aggressive fighter, action-packed.
Couldn't touch him.
Pacquiao is very, action-packed. I've seen him fight action-packed fighters before, but why, when they fight him, they look different? Or it looks like they're not trying, or it looks like they're very hesitant.
Yeah.
And that was my... And that was always like my game plan going in that fight. Like, listen, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how big the atmosphere is. I just can't be caught standing there looking at the magic.
Yep.
I have to just go. I have to just go. And that's what it was for me. I was just trying to be in his face every second of every round, throwing jabs, throwing right hand, throwing this, throwing. But then again, you find yourself almost, leaving yourself out there too, because he's so slick and defensive. You're starting to throw these punches, but out of your peripheral, you're seeing him look at you.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah, so it's almost like, damn, I leave myself out here. Is he going to hit me? Is he going to, do that? So it's a lot of different aspects to it. Like I said, if you're going to go, if you're going to throw these punches, you better be precise and you better make sure to not leave yourself out there. But if you don't want to throw these punches, he's going to stall. He's going to slow down the pace, and he's going to make you look at all of his magic.
Yeah.
And if you stand there too long, pop, walk over here.
Yep.
Pop, pop, walk over here. Pop.
What about his power?
Power, like I say, he doesn't have big power.
Because that's probably the biggest thing that people criticize him on, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to criticize, one of the greatest boxers of all time, some say the greatest boxer of all time, they usually go, yeah, but he doesn't have knockout power.
I mean, I understand.
Is that fair to say? Or because he's fighting really good competition at the same time.
I mean, he's fighting really good
these guys out.
Yeah, of course, but he doesn't have big power, but he punches sharp.
Makes it count.
He punches sharp to a point that if he hits you, it's not going to like daze you and knock you out, but it's going to get your attention.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, I moved over here, or I went this way. Boom, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because if I get hit with too many of those, or if I get hit with a shot like that without seeing it, it's going to hurt me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But he doesn't have big power to just come through and just clobber the hell out you.
No, he's not a knockout artist.
No.
What about the buildup of the fight? Was that different for you? Because obviously, when you're dealing with a Floyd Mayweather magnitude fight, he's it's showtime. So he's calling the shots. It's his promotion.
Yeah,
it's his
for
world.
Sure.
Was it something you haven't experienced before?
It was definitely a whole different, perspective for me. You go into a situation with other fighters, and you kind of understand the magnitude of it. But we're dealing with Floyd and going through that whole circus. You really get to understand how big he is to boxing. You really get to understand that promotion wise. Just all the way around the board. Like nobody else has any type of control. Nothing. It's a Floyd Mayweather production.
And he has his hands in everything.
He has his hand in everything.
That's what I was telling people. They said, what's the biggest takeaway you did from working with Showtime? And I'm working with him again next week for the fight. And I said, the biggest takeaway, obviously I knew Conor was going to bring it, but just talking to Floyd off stage, off camera, and seeing how integrated he is with everything. From the cameras,
everything,
the production,
everything.
The crew over here, the cars getting out, the limos. I mean, literally everything.
Everything. Like
Homeboy knows what's going on.
Like you literally, really find out, like, okay, there's his production. They pick the referees. They pick the judges. They pick this. They pick that. I have to go ahead and knock him out. Like, that's it.
Goes to the judges, you're screwed.
That's it. That's the only option you have. You have to knock him out because, he's controlling the whole situation. Like, even, for that fight, we get drug tested But for that fight,
Dawn.
I never seen nothing like it.
Really?
I never been part of nothing like it.
Really?
They were knocking on my door 3-4 times a week.
Damn.
5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dude, y'all just came 2 days ago. What is this? I'm like, who said this? I was getting so mad, bro.
It's Floyd.
I was getting so mad. I said, listen, are you guys doing this to him? We're not allowed to discuss. I mean, your promotion set it up. I'm like, well, he's the promotion.
Yeah, it's Mayweather Promotions.
Man, that shit was, shit was just crazy, bro. Like, just to be able to, I mean, you really see the control that he has over the game.
I find it fascinating. I find
amazing.
it absolutely fascinating.
That's what I'm saying. You have to admire it too at the same time.
You have to.
I mean, you have to admire it. You know what I mean? Like,
You
to
have
have
to,
this
man.
guy that really, I mean, go into a sport that you love and really take. I mean,
Control it. Take over your career.
Control it. It's crazy.
What's your relationship with Floyd Mayweather right now? What was it before, I should say? Pause.
I mean, I guess we're okay. I mean, like I said, I've known him for a long time. Yeah, I've known Floyd since, I don't know, shit. I think the last time I won the Golden Gloves, and I won the most outstanding boxer of the tournament. He took me and a whole bunch of other my friends out to eat and just basically celebrating, blase. So I've known him probably since I've been like 16, 17.
So a while.
And we've always had our ups and downs. We always had our ups and downs because we dibble and dabble around like the same circle somewhat when it comes to a lot of people we know. If it's dudes, if it's women, if it's just people,
sure,
just in
running
general.
the same circles.
Yeah. So we've always had our ups and downs about certain situations. I mean, we had a lot of times we didn't see eye to eye. A lot of situations, and but
you guys are good.
Yeah, I mean, I got no issue with him. I was just in the Andre Ward fight, and I seen him, and we spoke. And he took me. He wanted me to check out his strip club he has.
He has that new strip club. And, how is that, by the way?
I mean, it's
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Listen, I saw his girls they were at all the promotional events, and I am not mad at any of them.
Of course, I mean,
I celebrate
what he's doing.
I
mean, I mean, making that much money, you better have some bad bitches around.
I agree. If they're ugly, I'm gonna have a real problem. You tell me you control the cameras, everything, then you pull up with these warlocks.
Yeah, you can't do that. So like I said, he got a little situation going on. I mean, that's him.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing to say about that. Hey, listen, man, do whatever you like.
So then, you mentioned you've known Conor for about 5 years. What's your relationship with Conor McGregor? How'd that start?
You know what? Because I was in rehab, actually. We met in rehab. I tore my shoulder, when I fought.
For a second, I thought you meant like rehab.
No.
Damn, Conor's in rehab? Breaking news. Breaking news.
We got him.
Conor and Berto. Doing coke. TMZ's going to pick up on this.
We in there. We all the way out. Nah, shit, I tore my shoulder, in the Karas fight. And so I had to have surgery. I had rehab here in L.A. And at the time, I guess, he tore his ACL, I guess.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL a few years back.
We fought Max Holloway, yeah.
Yeah, like before he really blew up. And shit was in rehab for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months.
Oh, wow.
Just had to see his face every day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell is this dude? He walking there, shoulders high, big ass beard, fucking Irish kid, these tight ass pants on.
These tight ass pants
I'm like,
on.
who's this kid? But like I said, he was a cool ass dude. So we just sitting there and just chop it up and joke around about all types of shit, man. He was a cool dude. So, I mean, that took a lot of the stress off, what we were doing. And the thing is, even then, about Conor, which I knew that was so different about him, this kid had a torn, a torn ACL.
Yeah.
Me, I'm sitting in that bitch just depressed. Shoulder in the sling. They're trying to go through that situation. Yeah. His spirit was just so different. Like, he had his knee wrapped up. The only thing he kept thinking about was getting back. That was it. Mm-hmm. Like, George St. Pierre, we were at the same therapist. It was the same therapist that, George St. Pierre worked with when I guess he had his knee surgery, whatever case may be. So, and that was one of the reasons why he wanted to come see her. Shout out to Heather. But but that's the only thing he could think about. He was like, George, it took him, 8 months, 9 months. I'm gonna do it in 6. I'm gonna do it in 5. He was ridiculously obsessed with the fact that, he's going to recover like a freak and come back, 10 times better. Mm-hmm. And that was then. Like, we were in rehab. That shit was crap. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? I'm like, what's wrong with this kid? Like, relax, bro. Like,
relax, bro. Let's just chill, man.
Take some time off and chill.
Pop these painkillers and chill.
Exactly. But he wasn't hearing it. Like, hey, man, what you doing? We're gonna go out tonight. We're gonna do this. I was like, man, you got a strap on your leg. Like, your leg is like this. You're walking on crutches. Yeah. You talking about hanging out, kicking it. He comes into rehab smiling, laughing, and I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But from there, that's when I knew he was a different type of animal.
Did the announcement of Floyd Mayweather versus Conor surprise you at all? Were you like, what? Like, what was your first reaction to that?
I mean, when I heard about it, when I heard about it, I don't think I was too surprised.
Really? because
I know Floyd. I know Floyd, and Floyd is right now at a point in his career. I mean, he's a businessman. Even after I fought him the last fight, he's 49-0, and he said he's retiring, this and that. But you'll be damned if a guy that's that competitive is not going to come after that Rocky Marciano record. So everybody used to ask me, "Oh, you think he's gonna?" I said, "Listen, bro." He's going to come back. He's going to come back. I didn't know with who at the time because, we just got finished making the most money he's ever made in his life with Pacquiao. So it had to be something that makes sense. The only reason that he wouldn't have come back if he didn't have anybody at all to fight or anybody at all in that type of realm of
superstardom.
Because
there's no boxer could do it
at all.
That's my argument with all these boxing heads is I went, who else could get Mayweather to come out of retirement? And Pacquiao won't do it.
And they were trying to talk about Pacquiao again, but nobody was they weren't going to fall for that trick again.
That's not breaking pay-per-view records.
You know what I mean? And everybody felt they got gypped the first time.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Mayweather even came out and said, was like, I want to apologize to everyone about that fight. Like, that sucked.
Yeah, it did. So it wasn't surprising on me on his level. Because at the time when it started popping off a little bit, to be honest, Floyd doesn't keep track of all that type shit.
Sure.
UFC and all that. No. I mean, he don't know what's going on. Floyd don't know what's going on. Floyd just floating. He just living his life. You don't know what's going on. His circle is telling him what's happening. And now you got this kid that's barking and saying my name. Who is he? I don't what? But he makes what?
Yeah, he pulls
in how much? He's the biggest what?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we probably can make this happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If it makes money, it makes sense.
And did Conor's team, previously they reached out to you to help him, right?
Yeah. Hold on. My publicist, she's trying to come out. Can you text her, right?
Oh, you're good, man.
Yeah,
because originally I thought Conor was going to bring in Paulie, I thought for sure, for different reasons.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing.
But then I thought he was going to bring you in too.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it, of course. I mean, like I said, he's a good friend of mine. Him and his whole team. And after a while, I really just wanted to be a fan of just really seeing him make that transition. Mm-hmm. I don't think I really wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day is mixed martial arts versus boxing. It's always been a situation. It's always been an issue. It's always been a debate. And at the end of the day, this boxing game, man, it's a fraternity, bro.
I agree, it's a tight fraternity, but to me, it doesn't make sense. Why does it have to be MMA versus boxing? Why can't it just be a cool fight? It's a fight of the best of all time versus one of our best of all time. It's in your realm. Why does it have to be us versus them? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like I'm saying, like, a lot of these people are not like us. Like,
they're not open-minded.
They're not open-minded, and like I say, like all of us, like we've been exposed to both worlds.
Yeah.
We're just a fan of just combat sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just hardcore boxing guys, hardcore MMA guys, and that's just what it is. It's just the truth of it all.
Did the kind of the handling of Paulie definitely persuade out of the situation with Conor? Because when I talked to Paulie, he goes, "There's no way Andre's going to do it now. Because look how they treated me, man."
No,
he said the same thing. He goes, "Boxing is tight fraternity."
For sure.
He goes, "I came in there, thought I was going to help the guy out." There's guy code to this. Yeah. And I agree with them releasing the photos and the sparring footage. I don't really, again, where I come from, we don't do that.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, I believe, me and him, we had a certain type of relationship that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That wouldn't happen. But like I said, at the same time, it was my decision to realistically just fall back off the situation. Because I didn't want to be part of the mess because, at the end of the day, I love both sports, but the boxing game is my home. That's what I love, and that's my, that's my family.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to be part of that riff and that craziness, when it comes to
kind of the drama.
Because anything can happen. Say Conor goes out here and fucking throws a fucking punch and knocks him out.
Starches him.
Fucking Berto, we hate you. You help him get...
Still a legit point.
Yeah, Berto, you, I'm going to look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, man, I'm a huge fan of Conor's, good friend of Conor's. I'm a huge fan. And I've always been a fan of Floyd's, just growing up, just watching the guy.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of the sport.
How do you think the fight's going to go down?
I tell people all the time, I think it's going to go one of three ways.
One of three?
One of three.
Ooh, can't wait to hear the third. Let's hear
one of three. I believe, with all the the awkward and the all the awkward moving of Conor and unorthodox, punching of Conor. He could catch Floyd. If he catches him, he's strong. He could hurt him. He could knock him out.
I like where your head's at right now.
It's the fight game. Anything can happen.
Or,
you in there with a wizard. You know what I'm saying? You in there with a wizard, and the coldest place to be is in that square circle when you really find out the truth that you're in there with a whole different type of beast.
That you've never seen before. You can't kick him. You can't take him down. You can't try to clinch and try to hold and try to think about no shit. And you have 12 rounds.
Standing on your feet for 12 rounds with the guy that this is what he does. He paints pictures on a motherfucker's face.
Yep.
So you got to deal with that for 12
What's
rounds.
What's the third one?
So it's either you're basically just going to get outboxed all 12, or the third one is I just believe if Floyd gets in a groove and Conor gets frustrated or Conor lets that mental lap come when he just feels like, damn, I can't really do nothing with this guy. And Floyd just tattoos him whenever he wants, just hits him whenever. And he gets that good confidence in him to press the action. They couldn't stop him.
And to me, that's worse. So, again, I'm a box fan. I'm an MMA fan. I'm also working for Showtime as the MMA analyst. But I think worst case scenario for the MMA world, UFC world, is if Conor went in there and got stopped as far as just getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if Floyd lands his jab early and then he gets confident and doesn't respect Conor and is like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
And then starts working him.
Yeah.
And then like 6, 7, 8 rounds, he's beating him up. Yeah. That's worst case scenario for us. If Conor goes in there, lands a big, left hand and kind of wobbles Floyd, but then gets outclassed, but not getting beat up, that's different.
But I think he's almost in. I think the MMA world, to be realistic, I think they're in a no-lose situation.
Oh, I disagree, Doug.
Like for us as fighters, as boxers, and we're getting him entering our world. If something happens bad, it's a blow for us.
See, I feel like for you guys it's a no-win. I feel like for Floyd to no-win. For us, worst case scenario, if Conor goes in there and gets starched.
But they're expecting that, though. That's what I'm saying. They're expecting that. Oh, yeah, he's not a boxer. They're expecting that. if he comes in here and hits Floyd or cracks Floyd or hurts Floyd or knocks Floyd's out, I mean, that's a black eye for us.
See, I think we
already get a lot of shit from UFC or just mixed martial art in general, just basically saying, "Oh, we're going to take over boxing."
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. Boxing's now killing it.
So do you really think if Conor goes out here and does something or knock him out, do you think we're going to be able to hear the last of this shit? This is our best guy we got.
It's never going to happen again either. You know what I mean? You might get Conor versus Paulie, but you're never going to see this magnitude of Floyd versus Conor.
Nah.
What I think is going to happen, and I think a lot of boxing people are going to be hurt either way, but I think Conor's going to go in there. He's going to have some success. I mean, he wins 2 or 3 rounds, but then Floyd downloads that data, just like you're talking about, takes over, wins in a kind of a decision.
For sure.
If there is a stoppage, because Conor lands that left hand.
For sure.
But I think Floyd ends up winning a decision. But Conor does well enough where he's on the highlights of ESPN Fox the next day.
If Conor does well enough to not get stopped and even just land a few good punches, to even put up a decent fight against him,
that's a win.
That's a win.
That's a win.
That's a win for him. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's a win for him.
We're going Sizzler.
You know what I'm saying? We're going Sizzler.
We're going Sizzler.
You know what I mean?
That's what I like to say.
We're going Sizzler.
We're going Sizzler.
That's a win for him. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I was telling people right before, for Floyd to realistically get respect from this, he has to embarrass this man. He has to embarrass him. He has to stop him.
See, I feel like all the pressure's on Floyd.
Of course it is.
There's so much pressure on Floyd.
Of course it is. It's a boxing match. And you're fighting the best in the game.
And Floyd's trying to paint it like, I'm getting older, man. I'm slower. It's going to be tough. I'm giving him all the advantages. No one's buying it, though.
Listen, man, you gotta promote this thing.
I agree. He's the best at it. They're both the best.
You have to promote this thing, man. And both of them doing a great job at it. Of course, Floyd talking that shit that he's saying he's too old, and Conor's talking like he's about to take over the world. He's going to knock him out.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. But then again, you see these damn, these open media workouts. I've never seen a 40-year-old, work the way he works.
He's also shredded. You see what kind of shape he's in?
Come on, man.
He knows what's up. He's not just like they're saying. Oh, he took it on short nose, short camp. No. Floyd's ready, man. Because to get 50, there's gonna be an asterisk next to that 50. Yeah, it's an asterisk that says not only did he get to 50, he did it on these terms, which are nuts.
Yeah, Yeah, I seen that shredded picture. I was kind of like,
right? Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope I look like that when I'm 40. How old are you? We're the same age, I think.
33 now.
Yeah. We're the same age. I saw it at 40. I was like, there's more shred in that pack.
Exactly. Like, that's why I stay away from that subject. But,
me too.
But
I tend to myself. But I definitely had super skeptical hippo eyes. I was like, come on, son.
But like I say, it is what it is.
We'll get you out of here on this. What's your whole take on the Paulie situation?
Man, Paulie just got put in the trick bag, man. Paulie just got put in the trick bag, man. He, they got him. To be realistic, from the videos that Dana White dropped, it's great promotion, of course, for the fight. But for
Paulie,
for those videos, man, it's hard for Paulie to have a case. I understand what he's going through because, like I said, like we spoke, and he told me what really happened, or what he said what really happened. But it's hard for him to have a case when
there's video,
when that type of video, leaks like that. It's hard for people to think like, Paulie was handling him for 12 rounds.
Even if Paulie's right,
you know what I'm saying?
For it to come out like that and get spun from the UFC perspective.
What I'm saying. The perspective is bad. I feel bad for Paulie.
Me too.
I feel bad for him because he's a great guy. He's a good guy. And just the aspect of, like, they're really digging into his character and just who he is as a world champion. Like,
and he had a great career.
Exactly. And that's getting trashed right now. But that's the fight game. That's the promotion shit that that people do. They come up with a lot of different tactics.
Would you be down for a Paulie versus Conor after this? If Conor has a good showing, you know what I'm saying?
That might be a nice setup for this,
right?
But it depends on what happened with this Floyd situation. If Steve Conor wants to continue trying to box, I don't think it'll be smart for him to, to try to keep jumping in the ring with these.
Again, it depends how he does. If he has just a decent showing, money-wise, it makes sense to a McGregor promotion with Paulie, but let's not let's not count,
yeah, it could.
Our chickens before they hatch. Like, he has a lot of work ahead of him.
Promotional-wise,
yeah, I'm just saying payday.
Wow. I didn't think about that. It could be.
Yeah, have you asked your dad? This is my last question for you. I know you got to go, but what does your dad think of this fight? Because obviously his son's Andre Berto.
Yeah,
your pops fought in the UFC. How's he not out in the game right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, giving interviews. Yeah, if anyone can talk, it's him.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't really.
Your pops hasn't talked about it?
And he thinks it's funny, first off. Pops think it's funny, but I haven't really got into in-depth conversation with him about it.
It'd be interesting to get your pop's perspective. Let me know what he says.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably hit him up when I leave. He'll like, probably what you think about this, but
man, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy, man. I've always been a huge fan.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
man.
always stay in touch, man. We're neighbors, basically.
Yeah, man. We gotta, we jumping on all the. All the shit now, I'm definitely talking about this fight. We're definitely going to be trying to push other avenues and it's great to be able to have this interview.
Yeah, man. Right now, you're living out there, Beverly Hills, doing your thing. Life is good.
Life is good. Still in the gym working. You might see me again, later on this year, in the ring. But we'll see. We have a lot of other things outside the ring going. So
good for you, man.
So we good, baby.
Love it, man. Thanks for coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Berto.